Welcome Traveler, I'm free-to-play and I'm your guide to a successful free-to-play adventure in the world of Octopath Traveler, Champions of the Continent. This is a beginner's tutorial for new players joining the world of Ostera. Today's topic: what are good units to reroll for at the start of the game? If you play the original Octopath Traveler, you are familiar with those 4 characters. To be honest, if you have the chance to get them. All of those 8 are extremely worth it, and with the newest banner available until the 26th of July, you have an increased chance to get those. I was very lucky and I got 2 of the 4 I was missing. These 2 has to be leveled up first, but the other 4 I am using a while. I want to showcase them so you know how good they really are. Tressa is very versatile and is almost staple in every of my high level clears. She has one move which makes her act faster than the opponents or all of your other units. She can evade physical attacks, and of course she can provoke all enemies so that the enemies try their best to hit her. Her signature move, donating BP to a single unit, and her ultimate call for help is hitting 4 different weaknesses of one single enemy. So this is not as OP in the original game, but it's still a very good skill. Debuffing, buffing, nuking, granting BP, Primrose has it all. Like Tressa, extremely versatile and strong as hell. She can hit 4 times with a fan, can boost the attack and defense of the whole front row, or she boosts the physical and elemental attack and the speed of the whole front row. She can debuff the physical and elemental defense of all enemies at once. And her ultimate regenerates BP from the full front row for 2 turns. Speaking about regenerating BP, Alfin is the god of speed clears with this skill. 2 times in a battle he can grant the full front row up until 4 BP they can use in the next round. He can also attack 4 times with his axe and 4 times with ice too. Up until 3 times he can bring back 1 unit. His regen gives also resistance to fire and ice, and his ultimate gets stronger as lower his HP is. Cyrus' focus is unparalleled even in this game. He has 3 different elemental attacks and every one of them is hitting hard. Apart from striking 1 enemy once with fire, lightning and ice, he can also do this 3 times in a row on all enemies. And his ultimate combines every of those elements in 3 attacks on all enemies. Even in this banner, you always have the chance to roll for general pool units, which get added into the game over time. The 8 starting characters are also in this banner. And if you decided for the net, as mentioned in this video here, I'd recommend Viola, Scarecrow and Sophia. Scarecrow because he is a very decent class, because of his bow AoE, because he crits all along, and because his ultimate is just destructive. Sophia makes lots of early battles with ice weakness just so easy. In combination with the 4-star Azlight, it is just the perfect combo for dealing with enemies weak to ice. Viola is the queen of debuffs and can AoE shield break 2 times. Apart from that, she can regain HP and SP all by herself, so she's a very useful character for the start of any playthrough. Apart from Sophia, you can replace the other 2. JILLMEILA and NICOLA you can also pull from the general pool. JILLMEILA has the unique skill to have a high chance inflicting bleeding status on the enemy, which increases her damage. She's the only character at the moment which can attack 4 times with the dark. Her AoE bow attack strikes 3 times and inflicts bleeding by chance. She can raise physical attack and elemental attack. Her devastation is a really strong nuke, and her ultimate is even stronger when the enemy is inflicted with bleeding. So if you don't pull Scarecrow, get away with her. She's awesome. Nicola's kit goes into another direction as Viola's, because she can debuff all enemies at once, with elemental defense down for 2 turns and up to 5 turns in physical defense. When she is hit, she always recovers SP. She can also snatch HP back from the enemy and can break 3 shields from the enemy instead of only 2. As long as she has 50% or more SP, the whole front row gets physical attack up by 5%. She can land up until 100 SP to another unit and can attack 4 times with the dagger on random enemies. So she's very useful and versatile. And to give the last weapon users a unit covering it, let's tackle the most powerful pool warrior. In the moment, LARS is the best pool sword user, who has also access to 2 very useful wind attacks, who can decrease the wind resistance to all enemies or to 3 random enemies. But when it comes to sword attacks, he can attack all enemies with sword 3 times in a row, or 5 random enemies 5 times in a row. He can also regenerate BP all by himself. and his passive allows him to act faster when he's using max BP, so he acts before all of your units or before the enemy is able to strike. And his ultimate has priority even without consuming BP and also reduces the physical defense by 2 turns. And because these Kates are so afraid of LARS, they just run as fast as possible because this warrior is just way too dangerous for them. I really love this apothecary, so if you missed out on Alphen, don't hesitate to use her. She can heal 1 unit and also increases the elemental attack by this unit. She can hit 3 times with a light attack and 3 times with her axe, of course. As the name suggests, SOLEIL doesn't like the darkness, so her regen gives dark resistance up. She heals the entire front row and cures every status ailment. And her ultimate is just amazing. She hits 4 times on a single enemy with light and increases the light damage of the whole front row. And with the light units being very rare, she's not only a good addition to your apothecary team. CARDONNA is the spare user I use the most. Together with Stressor, they both are the team which I used mostly for every high level clear there is. Because CARDONNA can act first, heals and provokes the enemy on her. But you must not use it on herself. You can use it on another unit too. So if Stressor uses her sidesteps, none of the enemies which are only attacking physical can hit your team as long as a sidestep or the taunt is active. With her AoE skill, she can also heal herself. And like NICOLA, she can also land SP to another unit. And her strongest spare attack is attacking all enemies 3 times in a row. And if you put CARDONNA behind another unit, this unit will be 20% faster than before, which is really amazing for the stronger enemies in late game. And she can hit also all enemies twice with ice and 4 random enemies with ice too. So maybe you understand now why I'm so hyped for her. But there's also another hunter which can be used instead of CARDONNA. It's Chloe. Chloe's holy remand is called Charming Allure, which does exactly the same. She can boost the defense by the front row after attacking 2 times on all enemies. And when attacking all enemies 3 times, she improves the physical attack of all units. And with her powerful bow attack, she also heals the full front row. Her 4 times random target wind attack is also reducing the bow resistance by the enemies. But her ultimate is the cherry on top. She heals the full front row and gives additional physical attack up, physical defense up and lightning resistance up. And if you decided for Lynette, then HASUMI is the next dancer you should have, because she can raise the physical and elemental defense of the full front row, which is still a very rare skill. Her miraculous dance is healing, and if she's hit by an attack, she can also recover BP, and she can grant the front row SP recovery at the end of the turn. One of her fan attacks is also reducing the elemental attack, and her light skill is hitting 3 times in a row. And do you remember JILLMEILA, who gets stronger when an enemy is inflicted by bleeding? STEAD has the same skill, so combining STEAD with JILLMEILA, you have the optimal team against enemies with bow, dark and staff weakness. STEAD can also heal the front row and grants regen for 2 turns, and when attacked he can counter and also has the chance to inflict bleeding by the time. His staff attack also has the chance to inflict bleeding. He can buff the front row's elemental attack, and his dark attack also has the chance to inflict bleeding here. And Duskfall 4 is a very strong dark nuke, and his ultimate is even striking all enemies with almost the same potency as a full power Duskfall. So these are my recommended units from the actual banner and the pool for starting a new game. And if you're still not sure whether your units are good enough, go ahead and write in the comments or in my Discord group. And if you'd like this channel to class up, I really appreciate a subscription and thumbs up. See you next time. You're free to play.